everybody, and welcome back to the It's Time show. This has been an amazing season 2 reboot. Because I told you guys before I started this season, probably started it over like 3 times. So I'm excited to end this season. If you can remember, go back about 8 weeks or so. We started the season with my female best friends, and we talked about our relationships. We talked about how we met. We talked about times where we did not connect, where we may have stopped our friendship for a little bit. So yeah, I saw it as just as important to close this season out with my male best friends, all my brothers. It's the same thing. We're going to talk the same thing, how our relationships have started, how they've progressed, how they get on my tail. You know what I'm saying? All of the, we're going to talk about it. And I wanted to also have this conversation simply because I have a lot of conversations with women out in the world as I'm speaking and teaching, and just in general conversations where they say it's hard for males and females to have mutual, respectful relationships in partnership or out of partnership. And I just don't feel that that's the case. I tell people all the time that I think that that's stupid, because I think you can. And we're going to talk about that today. So I don't want to belabor the time. I'm going to start bringing up my friends so that we can get into the conversation. I know you're ready. Get your friends. Comment. I want to hear what you guys have to say as we're talking. We want to see your comments, and we want you to engage with us as we talk about the dynamics of male and female friendships and relationships. So let's get to it, y'all. Y'all ready? So I want to introduce my very first friend, and I think what I'm going to do is just go in order of how I met them to make it clear. I met this young man in church when I was like, I say babies because, maybe 3, 4, 5, 6, we was young. We were running around church singing in the Davettes choir, doing all kind of stuff. I'm going to bring up Roger Green.
That's the Davettes choir.
Yes, we was the Davettes. Our pastor name and we were the Davettes. You guys, quit playing. We do what we do. I'm excited to have you on. Thank you. Just tell them a little bit about yourself, who you are, what you do, why you do it.
Well, I am Keandra's little big brother. So no, but we've known each other, like she said, pretty much our whole lives. So this is my sister, and I'm excited to be on the show. I've enjoyed, because it ain't about me, so I ain't gonna talk about me. I'm talking about her. But I've enjoyed seeing her growth and just seeing some of the stuff that she does, and it's been inspirational for me. So I'm excited about to talk about this, because I think I got kind of 2 different perspectives on it. But yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. All right, we're gonna bring up my next friend. It was funny because I clearly remember meeting him. A group of friends of ours would be sitting in the cafeteria at church, and he'd be like on the wall with a little hoodie, and we was like, "Who's the new guy?" Like, he over there, like, tell him to come over and sit with us, and he just had this like, "I don't fool with none of y'all. We gonna see, and if you come at me, I'm probably gonna lightweight kill you, but maybe not. We'll see." So we're gonna bring up my boy Alton Duh. What's up, Al?
What's going on?
Alton used to have his hoodie. He would sit up on the wall at school with the hoodie and be sitting up there like that during lunch. And we would like, "Hey, come over, talk to us." Oh man. So what you say?
I said I spoke.
He did speak. He did. So we're gonna bring up my next friend now. This young man, he was always real quiet, always real chill. The one thing like I remember the most is that his parents didn't play. So when we was out, he'd be like, "Look, I'm gonna kick it until this time, then I got to ride." We'd be like, "Okay, come on, just come on with us." We would have so much fun. But when I tell you his parents ain't play with him, we gonna bring up Willie Garland.
What's going on? What up?
This is our resident DJ. And then last but not least, Okay, so this was an adult friendship that started at work. Me liking movies and knowing lines of movies. And so we had a little situation where some girls was walking by and I repeated the lyrics of a movie and he was the only one that got it. So we looked at each other and started laughing and we have literally been friends, brother and sister ever since. Hey, HB.
What's happening?
Like, all right, y'all. So I literally want to get into it. I want to talk about just the dynamics of friendship. And I want to thank all of you for your yes. I know I had to pull a yes out of some of y'all, but y'all, nevertheless, we are here. But I want to thank you. And I want to talk about just the dynamics of friendship. And I want to get the male perspective from it. And then I want to even talk about just our relationships and the things that we do as it relates to our relationship to make sure that it stays strong, we stay connected, and making sure that our families are even okay. Because as we grow, we're bringing other people into the dynamics of our friendships, and making sure that people understand. And I'll talk about myself as a female, with you all being males and having relationships. But let's just kind of start it off. I'm going to open the floor to just the general question of: do you really believe that males and females can or cannot have good, wholesome, pure relationships outside of it being sexual or having or wanting something other than truly having a friend like you do your homeboy?
So I'll go first.
Go
yes,
ahead.
I think so. I mean, you can kind of look at this room right now. I think usually, like, if a dude is like trying to, if a dude want to like offers to be her friend, it ain't genuine. So that's just my opinion. But like, I have multiple female friends that I've never ever like had an inclination of doing anything with, don't want to do anything with. I treat them literally like sisters. You know what I'm saying? And they'll ride for me just like I'll ride for them. You know what I'm saying? So if I was to go visit them and then we're one-on-one or whatever, it's never ever going to be any kind of party like that, because I know that's not what we own. You know what I'm saying? So, and also I think that a lot of times, like, if a dude can't necessarily have a female friend, a female straight platonic female friends, he really don't have a lot of options.
I like that. I like that. Roderick, I know you were about to say something. What were you going to say?
Well, my situation is a little kind of, so I'll say this, because I actually ended up marrying my best female friend. Wow. So, but the crazy part would be, you know, when me and Vicky talk about it, it's the other perspective from the other guy, and I always think to myself, like, dang, he probably always thought something was up with us, but that was really never always that really wasn't the case though. Like with me and Vicky, like, we truly were, like, she was probably my first female best friend, you know, and so it turned into something different, but that's not how it started. So I think it all depends on, you know, I think it depends on the relationship of the male and the female, because with our relationship, it grew into something that we were not looking for. And that just kind of, you know, happened naturally. But then, like Will said, like, I had, you know, I've had female friends where, you know, there was no type of, you know, expectation or anything like that. So I think it just kind of depends. And depending on where we go at in this segment, you know, I'll get into more details about me and Vicky. But yeah, you know, so I think it just depends on the dynamic of the male and the female.
All right, Al, what you think?
Personally, I believe it. I know for a fact it can happen, but I believe on it's the initial intent of the individuals, and you know what the initial intent is. It's just a matter of whether or not it's expressed. You know what I mean? So, but you know what I mean? It definitely can happen. I have a whole lot of female friends, but it all grew organically. It was either at work, we shared something in common where we ended up in the same place and everything grew organically. It wasn't no, I met you in the store and I thought you were cute, and then we grew from that. No, it wasn't like that. I believe it has to be something organic, like we've all mentioned with our answers.
Love that. All right, I'm HB.
I agree with everybody. There are some circumstances where it can manifest outside of the examples that have been given so far, but I think wholeheartedly, bottom line, you can have a platonic male female dynamic.
Why do you think that why do y'all think that so many people feel like you can't? I mean, my thought process is you're initially going in wanting something. So that means you can't, it's hard to kind of switch it. You know what I'm saying? In some cases you probably can, but it's hard if your intent is literally to be like, I'm gonna holler at her, but I know some people where it's like they tried to holler at somebody, it didn't work, and then they became friends. You know what I'm saying? And it remains friends. So why do you think that people feel like they can't? Or it's two parts of this. Why do you? Let's start with that. Why do you think people feel like they can't, as a male and female, be friends? I feel like you're not mature enough to contain yourself because it's a male and he has a body part that's supposed to be a woman, that don't mean it's supposed to be yours or with you. I don't get it. I just think it's stupid.
I think it's the insecurity of that woman or that guy, because I think that between the two people, they may actually have a genuine friendship, right? All right, so I'm gonna say it like this, and I'll let the other brothers speak. So with me and Vicky, we were actually like, she had a boyfriend during the time we were best friends, but he had an issue with our friendship. But there was really, really nothing there. I mean, hindsight is like, oh, dang, yeah, because we married now. But at that time, there was genuinely nothing there outside of the friendship we had for each other. And matter of fact, I even told Vicky, like, listen, like, you got a boyfriend, me and you gonna have to kind of chill out a little bit, because I don't want him thinking nothing. But her thing was, well, we're friends, so I don't want to lose my friendship over, the relationship. So, but his question was, to me and Vicky, we used to kick it. Like, we went to movies together, we went out to eat together, and it was nothing romantic or anything like that. And, her boyfriend was like, well, why do y'all do the things that me and you supposed to be doing? Was what it was. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing there. That's just the stuff we were doing before he got in the picture. So I think it's just it may be more so of the maturity and the insecurity of the other person.
So I think that people have a problem with it because they never experienced it.
Yeah.
And like I said, like a lot of people, like I was saying earlier, like it's intent, like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you run into somebody and be like, oh, I think you cute, I'm gonna try to holler at you. But at the same time, she be like, no, I'm good. But then he'd be like, oh, can we be friends? His intent was to get with you in the first place. So now he's putting himself in friend zone in hopes that later on down the line it might happen. You know what I'm saying? So like Roger said, it's about insecurities. And then also sometimes like speaking on his situation or whatever, like some people would have an issue with, even though you're platonic or whatever, like, hanging out with another person of the opposite sex, even though it's nothing, you know what I'm saying? As a person in that relationship, whatever, it would kind of come off like, damn, are they really doing something or really not doing something? But then it's on that person, whoever male or female, to bring that friend around, be like, look, this is like nothing. But then at the same time, that person that's in that relationship need to be like, yo, I know we used to do this, but we can't really chill like that no more. You know what I mean? So, you can't call me at 12 o'clock at night because talking about I need to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? It's just about boundaries. You have to set boundaries sometimes. So
yeah.
The people who like wholeheartedly, because I know people who wholeheartedly think you can't just have male friends or female friends. They just never experienced that before.
HB, what you got over there? I see you.
I think the reason why a lot of men can't see it is because they don't see it in themselves. They know that they're not trying to be friends with all the females they run into. They're trying to smash all of them, as many as possible. So since that's my comment, they can't see another man refraining and actually being a friend to a woman. Most men don't even want to be your friend when they holler at you. They want to skip friendship and get to dating and doing all the stuff dating allows. So since they don't even want to get to know you as a friend first before even deciding to date you, they don't understand that concept. So if you're not trying to do it, it's not within you. It's hard for you to understand another man who does. So that's why I believe a lot of guys won't accept the fact that you can actually have a female friend that you don't want to smash, or you have that much respect for that y'all actually can stay friends.
Yeah, he hit the nail on the head. It's all about the individual. People who don't believe it know within themselves they have that little piece of themselves that might fall off or make a mistake or go too deep or too far into the friendship. You know what I mean? So if you have that boundary and you know that within yourself, you don't have that concern. So I think it's completely on the individual.
So my dynamic is real different too, because I'll meet someone and I'm like, I have male friends and they're usually like, cool, that's fine until they see y'all.
Until you pull up, they be like, oh, hell, shit.
It'd be a whole different dynamic. Then the questions start, or you know what I'm
squares
saying?
Over here.
Yeah, so they see y'all and then it's like, or they say, when you said you have a male friend, I didn't think he was straight. I didn't think you talking about straight male friends. Like they'll say something like that. The dynamic changes when they see you guys, right? So that even becomes, and then I have to, then it comes into them seeing the dynamics of our friendships and us hanging around or how we do it and then after a while it becomes like, okay, but it really gets tense every time. Like I've never been through anything and it's always, okay, that's cool. Until, right? So from your perspectives, how does that work when you and I'm very, listen, I have male friends. These are no longer my friends. These are my brothers. They're not going anywhere. And I make it very clear. And I mean, now I will make sure the dynamics of our relationships are respectful to our relationship. Now that I will do, but they ain't going nowhere. I'm not about to not be friends with them because, like I make it when I know that I'm going to be serious with somebody, I make it very clear. So on the flip side of that, I know how I try to be with you guys' relationships, but how does that dynamic, what does that look like?
I think it's on, in my opinion, it's kind of like on us, like how you would carry yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? You aren't the female friend that's going to be calling us at any times of night, texting us any times of night, always on the phone with us, hey, let's go do this, let's go do that, or whatever. You're not going to do that. So as us being grown men and us actually being the type of men, like Al said, that actually see ourselves having female friends, we'll respect your relationship. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to be in your relationship like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if shit gets sideways, and that's a different story. But you know what I'm saying? Right. But besides that, we don't need to be in your relationship like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hey, y'all do what y'all do, whatever. We ain't no threat. So buddy can chill out.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting.
I think, again, it depends on the female too. Because like for me, when Vicky had her dude, I'm like, listen, we can't kick it like that no more. Like, I want to respect y'all's relationship. But she was the one who was like, well, that's cool, but that's cool. But, we were really like best friends. Like, we did everything, literally, we did everything together. So she was not willing to sacrifice what was stable for something she was unsure of, so like she knew I was always going to be there because that's who we were to each other, but that relationship might not last. So I think it depends on the female.
So let me ask you,
but I think it depends on the dynamic relationship too.
Hey bro, let me ask you, did she think you was going to like end the friendship or something?
I didn't say try to end the friendship, but me personally, like I'm thinking like the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, I want to respect that, and it's like I was so like it was situations like, for instance, like we did Sunday dinner together all the time. Like whether it was me, my brother, and some people, like we always did Sunday dinners together and stuff like that. But there are times where I would go over there and he come over and I'm there. And he, so it's already drawing drawing some questions. And I'm like, so I'm telling her like, yeah, I need to kind of, we need to kind of chill out a little bit just because, I know he's questioning.
It may feel to him.
Yeah, but hindsight speaking on that end, some of that was just because, sometimes people are insecure because of what they doing, so they have an issue on the other end. But
don't put you on me. I can't stand that. Don't put you on me. don't put you on me. If I'm not doing it, I mean, now I can if you want me to. Keep trying. That's what I want to do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me ask HB a question. So, all right, so in most people know we live together, right? So, and we have for a very long time. His mom got sick. He has always been there to help me. So the dynamic of our friendship is always a little bit different, because then I have to say, yes, I have male friends, and one of them we live together, and then it's always like, you know, and that. So how from your perspective, you know, I always tell you I care less, but from the females, how they feel, because you know I care, but I don't really be caring. How does that work for you?
A lot of them have their doubt, but again, it's from their experience. They've had homegirls who they put trust in, and that homegirl behind their back did something that made them now doubt anything the dude that they're trying to deal with says. As far as, oh, that's your best friend, oh, that's your sister, you know. And I understand it's really trying to get to for me, why you feel that way. Why is understanding what I'm telling you so difficult to believe? And then once I kind of figure out that this is from past hurt or trauma, whatever the case may be, or it's just something in them. I couldn't live with you and not fool around. I can't control. So I understand that. So you're taking your own situation, circumstances, and you're applying it, like everyone was saying, to me, as if I got to sit here and lie to you. Why am I portraying to be single if I'm living with the one I'm eventually? Don't you think I'm gonna get caught? Like, hey, let's use some common sense here. But I think it boils down to how I portray the situation. Like when I bring it up to them or let them know what's really real, I have a way of doing it to take the sting out of it. Like, you're not gonna be on the phone with me and one day hear a female voice calling me downstairs, and then you have to ask, well, who was that? You know, none of that stuff like that. None of it is a surprise to you from the gate. So, and then I give you the choice. Hey, you want to pursue this? I know it could look funny or whatever, but this is the situation. Like he said, we've been friends for over 10 plus years. And, you know, we was friends before her little girl was born. Her child is now 21 years old. Her mother got ill. I moved, I helped, and we like as family. If you can't understand that, I respect your lack of understanding, and you can move on to someone who has a better circumstance than what you prefer. But, you know, some of them get it, and then some of them, they don't get it, but they'll deal with it for a certain amount of time. But like everyone's saying, it's the person, it's whatever that person is dealing with at the time you run across them, and they'll either accept you for who you are. Because me, I never showed any different. I will call them with Keandra right there. You know, I would sometimes video chat. This said hello, because sometimes he be like, she ain't got to hide, you know, hey.
It's not like
out of the illusion that something's going on. That's my
we had one mutual friend of ours who, she wasn't dating Harold or anything, but we're all friends. She said to me, she said, yeah, we used to wonder. I said, why? Why would you wonder? If we both told you what it was, why would you still wonder post? I said, because if it was you, you probably would have felt different about the situation. So living with Harold, not me. You, so don't put it on me. No, ain't no need to wonder. And I hate that fact that I don't know why women I feel like women feel like they can't contain themselves if they live with a male. It's a man. Just because it's a man don't mean it's just y'all. It drives me insane because I just think it's so stupid. I just think it's so dumb. Like, that does not mean that. So Al, like, how do you feel as it relates to relationships that you get in, and then them knowing that you have a female sister? Now you have, you know, you guys have siblings as well, but you have a sister, and then here's like, this is my other sister, but not really, this is my friend. You know what I'm saying? How does that work?
I think it's just being honest, and for me, it's just I always establish that up front and deal with the reality of it. I mean, we know that people do mess this up. People do mess up friendships. It does happen. So when people ask the question, don't treat it as if, you know what I mean, it doesn't happen or it can't happen. Just stand on what you believe, and that person, you have to also question the person that you're talking to. Is that that person might have trust issues and have some issues you might not want to deal with. they have to work on themselves and get that right. But a lot of times it's just treating it for what it is. Just be honest about everything, be upfront. And I know for our relationship, what we do don't change. We don't be all up in each other's face. We don't be all up in each other's business. I don't gotta know what's going on with you all the time. I'm not calling in the middle of the night. I'm not doing those weird things. But I don't do those weird things. And if people do those weird things, the other person is going to recognize those things and notice those things. So if you're doing those things, you have to understand what it is you're doing. Just deal with the reality of it and be honest about the situation. Because some people will say it and really be doing some slick stuff on the side. That's just plain. That's what it is. Still go back to the individual.
But even for me, like, I don't even bring a guy around y'all until I feel like they gonna stick and stay for a little bit. So it's funny because I don't feel like I don't bring him around y'all because I'm like, I don't know if he gonna last, and I don't need. I don't, only because I know regardless of if you guys try to be, y'all be having the Kool-Aid smiles, what's up, bro, dabbing them up, there's still an intimidation there, right? I've seen it where in the beginning, when back in the day, I've always lived with males. I lived with males in college. I lived with males outside of college. And then as an adult, like, I've always lived with my male friends because it was in college, it was just a safety thing. But it just has always been like that. And I remember times where I would be talking to somebody, they come to the door and my male friend who lives with me opens the door and they're just they know the man lived there. He opened the door. It's just forever. And then I never hear from him again. So I wait. I've learned to just chill out and wait and let them see how the relationship is prior to meeting. And but I also, like with you guys, like when you guys feel like it's somebody that you know you're going to be with, then we'll all go out to dinner or something, or you know what I'm saying, or we have those conversations so that they can meet, or we have those conversations. Do you feel like there's a boundary even around that when you're like, all right, I really like her, let me go ahead and bring Key in the fold just in case, just to make sure? Go ahead, Harold.
See, like I said, it goes back to me trying to take the sting out of the situation. So what I did, as an example, was one lady that I was getting serious about. I booked her hair appointment when Key was doing hair, just so Key could get a natural feel of her, strike up conversation and stuff like that, and get it honest. So then, after everything was said and done, I came to pick her back up, and I introduced her. Like, hey, this is so-and-so, this is my sister Key, the one I've been telling you about. Oh, so now you can't have nothing negative to say because you didn't sit here for an hour and 45 minutes talking to this woman and you like. So now, where do we go from here now? Because now you don't have nothing bad to say because I've been telling you about her. Now you've met her. Y'all done had that experience or whatever. So that was my experience. That's one of the things that I do think you should wait and really fill out what your intentions are with a person before you start dragging them around the people you close with. Because I haven't seen it, but I can tell from the guys that's on this panel that once you take a female under your wing, like that's my friend, that's my sister. When other guys come around who ain't on, they on that bullshit, our demeanor change. Like, I may not flip out right now. Yeah, I might smile, okay. But the whole time, I'm like, bruh, you're going to have to get the hell on from around here.
We see right through it. We see right through it. That's why.
You're not going to do that to this one. And I think that's why, like she say, sometimes the dudes show up and I open the door and it's...
You own to something, Harold. You own to something because I think that the ones with the bad intentions will see that. Like, oh, there's another security in her life that might pick up on something that she might miss that somebody else will catch. So sometimes, like you said, that I think that'll automatically, guys will use that to try to manipulate the situation to be like, well, why y'all cool like that? Why y'all hanging? Why y'all this? Why y'all that? And it's really to manipulate the situation to separate y'all so he can do what he trying to do. So you on something with that, Harold?
Man, Key got bodyguards and that's intimidating to a lot of people. So
different area codes too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, bodyguards. Some of us are a little crazy too.
It's crazy because I even like you all being my friends, y'all know me. So I'll sit here. It was a meme that came out that me and Willie was talking about one time, where it was like, it said, my body is really attracted to you, but the way you talk, my mind can't collaborate, so I can't talk to you because you're not intellectual enough for me, right? So my body may be like, yes, and as soon as you start talking, Keandra's like, so they be like, what happened to so-and-so? And I be like, like, you know, just the whole point of, a lot of times we don't even get to the point where I get to introduce them to you guys, because I'm like, I can't take you in front of them. I even know that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, like, because y'all would be like, all right, he was cool. Hey, how you doing? We leave. Willie would text me and be like, what the was that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what was that? And then Al would be like, you know, he'll smile and laugh and be like, I don't know. Like,
yeah.
All right, y'all. So Al, how do you feel for us? Like, we have gone through high school, we've gone through college, we're adults, and we've seen each other grow. You and Willie left for the military and came back. It could have been that after you left and came back, we didn't have a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Because of time. How did you guys or why, and even for Roger, why was it important do you guys think for us to just stay connected even all throughout the year?
I know for me, it was just all natural. And I mean, when you go through things, especially in the military, you go through all sorts of things. And I mean, you deal with mental health, depending upon what you're dealing with, you reach back to what feels like home. And we have, I mean, nothing's different. Like male, female, all of y'all feel like home to me. So when I reach back to all the people who genuinely feel like home. So I guess that for me, that's really all it is. It was just y'all are home. No matter whether it was male, female, all y'all felt like home. What was real felt like home.
Yeah, and Willie, I think we talk more in adulthood than we did when we were younger. Like,
we do. We kind of piggyback on what Al said. Like, we both left and was gone for 20 years. Then we came back, but at the same time, if it's grown naturally, then there's no expectations. You know what I'm saying? If you know, like, I mean, cause in my opinion, true friendships don't have a time limit. They don't have like, oh, I ain't heard from you in 2 or 3 months or whatever. You know what I'm saying? As long as I know you straight, then we good. I don't need to hear from you every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So granted, we probably didn't talk like a lot of time when I was gone, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But now that I'm back home, it picked back up like it was nothing.
It did.
You know what I'm saying? It picked back up like it was nothing. Mm-hmm. Like me and Al, we out of high school when we both left for the military, we probably talked maybe 5 times in 20 years, and that was on email. You know what I'm saying? So now look at us. You know what I'm saying? Now we back in the fold like nothing happened. So if it's grown naturally and grown platonically, you know what I'm saying, especially with a woman, there's no expectation. So it just comes back naturally. So
I love the fact, even like with Roderick, I love the fact that I can call you guys. So in what I do, I am the boss. Like I am, it's always a lot of me making the decisions, me doing things and stuff like that. And then I can come to y'all and y'all be like, that's some, cut it out, shut up, doing too much, sit your butt down somewhere. Like, I love the fact that we have it. And I give my pushback because that's just who I am. But I do honor and respect all y'all's opinion. And I go to you guys, and I'm like, look, what do y'all think? Am I overreacting? Am I doing this? Am I doing that? And I just want to give you guys your flowers now because I love and respect each of you. And I'm so thankful that God has placed you in my life because I do respect your opinions. And I know that the answers you're giving me are not out of flesh. It's not out of fluff. You're really, genuinely answering and helping me through whatever it is. And so I appreciate that. When Kaya got into the accident, I checked, I was like, y'all, Kaya was in an accident. I was like, man, y'all hungry? I'm bringing some food over. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just automatic. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the love that you guys have for me and my child and my mother, because you guys have literally helped us through all that I've had to do. And I do appreciate that. And I got to give y'all, I don't want to start crying because y'all know I'm going to get emotional, but because it's hard out here by yourself. But knowing that you have people, and what y'all don't know is my daughter looks up to you guys as uncles, and she'll be like, when I'm going through, she'll be like, did you go in a group chat with Al and Willie today and ask them about that? I'd be like, no, let me do it real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? So she honors and respects the relationships that we have, and she sees the value in them. So I appreciate that as well, which has allowed her to grow and have very strong male friendships. They're over the house all the time when she's here, and then they talk to Harold, and they call him Unc, and they call me mine, and they have their relationship with him. And so I appreciate that. I wanted to know, from you guys' perspective, when it comes to just growing and having these female friendships, because I know I'm not the only one, do you feel like if I was to get not if I was, when my husband comes, because he coming, y'all better start praying. Because I'm ready now. It took me a while. We ain't gonna go. Well, we will go there because I wasn't ready for a long time.
See, Will. I think I was also saying he ain't in the business. I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna be all in the business.
I was
ready for a
long time. I wasn't. It'd be like I thought I was ready, then I get close and be like,
it's you.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was sometimes
you gotta ask her sometimes. Why you doing that guy like that? Why you doing him like that? Can you tell that man in love with you? Why you doing him like that?
Harold, put the cup down and look at the camera now. So I will honestly say something.
So we got to pick up the conversation.
A lot of times it was me. It was a lot of times it was me. So Harold, I'm gonna let you talk on that. Go ahead, just go ahead, child. We here. Go.
Hey, Harold, don't leave nothing out either.
No, this is one of the moments you gotta choose your words wisely. I do believe that the heart is ready, but the mind still has some things to sort out. And I think that's just being honest with yourself. Like a lot of times you may feel like, I'm ready for this new chapter in my life. I really want to pair myself with somebody. And then you start going down the checklist of things that you want in a person. But then I think what I've gotten to see firsthand is her take that checklist and not just apply it to the guy, but then she turns the mirror on herself and says, "Can I give the same thing after him? Can I give it? If I'm asking for time from him, can I give him time? Can I respect him in a way that I'm, And sometimes she'll get down to a certain attribute and be like, I ain't done it. I ain't healed from that. I ain't ready for that. And then she'll take the time to try to figure out why that is and things. And then I think sometimes that may be what causes certain relationships. Now it's up to the guy to take this information. If she shares it and be like, I respect that, either I'm going to be patient while you figure it out. Let me know what you need. Or I'm going to be over here in the streets until you figure it out and then, come back around, something like that. It's up to the guy. But I think the one thing I can honestly say is that she has been completely honest, at least with the last few that I've had knowledge of, to where she was. And it was like, look, I'm feeling you. I dig you. I think there's something near. But me personally, I'm still dealing with some issues that I want to get sorted out first. And then she puts the ball in their court. Now, she didn't say we can't be together. She didn't say I don't want to spend time with you and nothing like that. But sometimes they think, and then they slowly remove themselves from the situation because they misinterpreted a person who's saying, I don't want you to be a victim of a situation you had nothing to do with. And so I think the heart is ready because she got a lot of love to give. But I think mentally she's smart enough to be aware that some of the things that she's trying to fix can't really be fixed while in a relationship or trying to cultivate a relationship, because it won't happen. You got to deal with trying to make sure somebody else is okay. You're not okay. And they can't heal what was broken. That's something she got to do on her own. So I'm 50-50 when she says she's ready. I'm like,
And that comes with, having a lot of grief. So still having to deal with wanting to pull back and not be around anybody because of grief. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I want a relationship. Then it'd be like, I don't feel like being around nobody. I can't do it. And then trying to deal with how to cope. So I agree. You know what? That was totally honest and totally, I was like, what he about to say? But that was good. That was, I get that. Anybody else?
I'm going to just say the fact that you're ready. You still grinding.
Yeah.
You still got stuff to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as soon as somebody wants to come in your life because all the whole seriousness thing is about settling down and slowing down and doing the home life thing and all that kind of stuff. Nah, that ain't you. You out here grinding, you out here getting it, you on TV, you making sales, you winning awards, you're doing all that kind of stuff or whatever. If a dude comes along and he has that same drive as you and he know that, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, next week I got to go to New York for this, like, shit, let's ride. you know what I'm saying, then maybe y'all can do that together. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody's on the opposite end of you, while you're grinding and they're looking to actually like stay put and build roots, you know what I'm saying? Then that's where the disconnect comes in. You know what I'm saying? You're ready to have somebody in your life, but right now you're still working on you. You grinding. You still trying to get it. You still got things to accomplish. You know what I'm saying? And it's hard to accomplish. I ain't gonna say it's hard to accomplish things with a partner, but that partner got to let you accomplish things. You know what I'm saying? Because if you got to fly out and go out of town, they got to be secure in themselves. You know, like, all right, boo, go ahead. I'll be here when you get back. You know what I'm saying? Or if you don't feel like dealing with somebody because you're going through your grief, all right, cool. I understand you got your grief. I'll be here when you're ready to talk. That type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my perspective on it. You ready, but you still got stuff to do. Go on, get that money.
Al, you got something to say?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with the mic, but I believe, okay.
I don't know what's going on with the mic, but okay.
Yeah, the guy has to be ready, and that's the most important thing. You know you ready.
Alton said it before I could say it. I was trying to jump in and say it before he said it. I think ultimately it's about if the guy's ready or not. I think you're ready. I think the guy has to be ready. You know, some of the stuff that Will said, like, you know, if you say, hey, I'm going out here because I'm doing this PR event, you know, it's up to him to say, I'm going to be here when we get back. Or, hey, so what time do we leave? What time we going? You know, so I think I think he got to be ready to support you and everything you doing, because you're you're a humble person, but you're not a person that, how can I say this? And this is male and female relationships. I think you don't accept excuses. You don't accept weak excuses, if I can say it like that. You don't accept weak excuses, and so like. I think that the guy has to be ready to be in the type of relationship that you need and that supports what you're doing, because you're going to support what they're doing. That's just naturally who you are. That's what your businesses are about. So it's about supporting people and making sure people are the best version of themselves, all that type of stuff. So it's about, can somebody come in and support you to make sure that you're the best version of yourself in everything that you do.
All right. So my thought process in this whole conversation is that, as I was saying before, I don't feel like the guys give me an opportunity to really explain what I'm looking for from them, because they'll meet me and they won't know the Keandra Ward that people see online, right? Then, you know, of course, they're going to start going on Facebook. They're going to start going on Instagram, and then they look, and then the expectation is, whoa, like, I don't know. But nobody ever asked me. So my thought process is, I don't necessarily, there are some opportunities that I'll have that I would want my man to go with me. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean you always have to be there. Just because I'm on TV don't mean just because I'm on live don't mean I'm going to be like, come on live with me. Like, that's not how that works. But if you want to, you know, I'll let you do that, but I'm going to support you. But they don't give me an opportunity to even say, hey, most of my friends are laid back and chill. They're not doing this. You know what I'm saying? So the reality of my relationship would probably be the same. You know what I'm saying? So for the most part, I don't feel like they even give me an opportunity once they see me online, right? They don't, it just be like, oh. And I'm like, but you never asked me how I feel about it, or if my expectation is I'm gonna have a camera with everything we do. You know what I'm saying? So that's not the case. I do a lot. What people see online is what I show them. I do a lot of stuff that I don't even post, but people don't know that because they think it. But nobody, as it relates to relationships, they don't even ask me. What y'all think?
That's how it should be. I mean, I don't. You know, I post a lot, but I don't post myself. You know what I'm saying? I post nothing but jokes, crazy stuff, people to laugh at, people to have a conversation with, but you'll never know what's really going on. Like, nobody knew that I was graduating. Nobody knew I even got a degree until I posted it. You know what I'm saying? I don't tell people what I got going on and what I plan on got going on. I got plans to do a lot of things, but guess what? I'm not going to post about it until it's complete. So, You know what I'm saying? I believe, you know what I'm saying, moving quietly and come out loud.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I am. Like, I'll be doing stuff and I'll post, but you won't know I'm really doing something big until after it's done. Like, And at that point, or if I'm traveling, you won't know till I got back. I probably been back 4-5 days before I say something about it. If I
definitely don't tell people I'm traveling.
Yeah, I don't tell people when I'm gone. Like, you will not know when I'm gone, but you will know when I get back if it's something I want to share. Like, I don't do that. But even as it relates to just what I do, because my job requires me to be a little bit more visible than most people's jobs, right? So it then becomes a kind of discord, an unspoken discord that shouldn't even be one. Because if you spoke about it or asked, I'd explain it to you, but it is what it is. I know the right one will come and understand. So, Harold, I know you had a question that you wanted to bring up. So after this question, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, and this will be our last question for the segment.
Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to know from the fella side, have you ever had a female friend who you ended up losing that female friend because her man or boyfriend couldn't understand her having other male friends? He kind of had that attitude where, with me in your life, you don't need no other man.
I have a lot of female associates. I wouldn't necessarily say they friends, but usually, like, when you having a conversation back and forth, whatever, and y'all just, it's like innocent conversation or whatever, then they pop up with a dude, they cut off communications with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't necessarily know if that's a lost friendship, because if that relationship don't work out, next thing you know, we back sharing jokes again. You know what I'm saying? I'll be like, and I'll call them out on it too. I say, all you got to do is, or you disappear. You know what I'm saying? So, so I wouldn't say it's a lost friendship. I just think that some people just either they'll respect that dude's wishes, or whatever, or they don't have the stand up like he is. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like these my partners, like, they not going nowhere. So it's either you gonna have to deal with them, or you ain't gonna deal with nothing at all.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people ain't got that kind of backbone and cachet to stand on. So, you know what I'm saying? They won't stand up to that.
I have a female. I'm gonna let the other two reply, but I got my female reply. You know how I feel. Don't come back. Why are you talking to him now? I get defensive. You want to talk to him when you had a boyfriend? Going on. Keep the keeping on. Okay? Because no, you're not gonna call him now that you ain't got nothing to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, we ain't doing that.
You bored now? You got time now.
Now you got time. You should have had time before, and since you don't, he no longer has the time. Whether he got it or not, I'm telling you, he ain't got the time. Like, I don't like this.
It has been spoken.
But what I'll say, I mean, for me, I don't think I've ever lost a female friend simply because I feel like I'm still here. If they come back, and regardless of what reason, I'm still a friend. A friend is a friend no matter what. So it's no losing. They may, for whatever reason, have to. I mean, they choose their relationship. They choose how they want to live their life. There's nothing wrong with that. But you know what I mean? If 10 years from now a friend come back and be like, I'm glad to see you, I'm going to treat them the same, because a friend is a friend no matter what. That's my...
That's my...
Roger?
I think the last time that happened to me was in high school. So, I don't know. I think that's based off the maturity of the person, but that hadn't happened to me since high school. So I don't know. So I'm gonna say I haven't really had that.
So I'll close it out with saying one of the things that I really try to do when I know that, when you guys are in relationship, is really be at a place where your partner knows that I'm there, that I'm respectful, but I don't like, I want to get close, but then I don't want it, because what if something happened? Like, and y'all don't work out, then I'll be sitting here like, hi, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to, like, you guys, I know, you don't have crazy pickers, right? So you pick quality women who I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. But then it's like, I don't want to get too close, but I want to get close because what if something happens? So I really try to, when we were all together, be cool, but literally keep my distance on the personal side, because then if y'all break up or something happens, then it's like, hi, Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dang. All right, so now, how do you manage that? So I really try to keep an equal balance with that. But the thing that I am is always honest. I don't get in y'all stuff. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts. Don't ask me because I don't know. Even if I know, I do not know. Don't ask me. Only simply because I don't want no parts of it. And I think we do that maturely for both of back and forth, because it just keeps the peace. But it has never been real bad. It's never been real bad, but it's just something that I try to do because we are approachable people. We are cool people. So then when things start getting away with relationships, sometimes they'll come to the people that are close to them and like, hey, why? I don't know why. Don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And so I try to keep it very platonic, but also, respectful, but letting them know that, there is another female on the other side of this that can sometimes look in and be like, dude, bruh, you come on now. That's a little extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, for the most part. But I really try to keep my space and keep my peace. And I think that the respect level that we have for each other as friends, and the love that we have for each other, that we cover each other, but we don't do it in such a negative and or unhealthy way. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just want the last thing I'm gonna probably say, Key, is probably why a lot of people guys are intimidated by us is because you probably surround yourself with secure, positive, masculine energy, and you don't carry yourself like one of the guys. So you let yourself be a woman and be protected, and they know that you got a wall in front of you. You know what I'm saying? So that in itself is intimidating to a lot of dudes. But they also need to understand that, look, you do right by her, we good. It's really just that simple. You know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't in your business. Whatever, y'all do what y'all want to do. But so
okay. Likewise. Don't make me come, because I get, and it's so crazy. I will say, I'll close out with this too, and I thank you guys. I'll let everybody just have a last statement, but that I do give it. The people that I love, I'm protective over. You know what I'm saying? And so I also have to manage that within myself, because it'd be like, who's she talking to? Like, I know she ain't say, calm it down a little bit, sis. But then I'd be like, all right, that ain't my business. Let me go on over here. Let me go. He ain't invite me into this. Let me go ahead and go. But tap me in, bro. Tap me in. But no, it's always been very good. So the last thing I would say is, what would you say? We'll just have everybody just have a final statement. What would you say to someone who is struggling with if they can have platonic relationships with the opposite sex? Like, maybe they haven't tried it because they've always heard that you can't or you shouldn't, but they've never experienced it and never tried it. What would you say?
I'm gonna say what Al said. Look within. If you could be a true friend to somebody, male or female, then you ain't got nothing to worry about. That's just how I see it. You know what I'm saying? If you got ill intentions of everybody that you meet, if you got some kind of intentions of everybody that you meet, or every chick that you want to meet and you want to smash, then of course you're gonna have a problem with every dude that come around in her life. You know what I'm saying? So just be real. You don't have to. There's so many women in the world. We are outnumbered. You ain't got to smash all of them. You know what I'm saying? So look within. I'm just taking what I say. Let's look within. If you can be real, just be real. Be real with yourself first, though.
Right. HB?
I agree. It's got to be in you, not on you.
Preach. Roderick? You got to unmute yourself. All right, Al, you go while he's unmuting.
All right. Now what we talking about?
All right.
There you go. Is am I breaking in or not?
Now you go ahead.
All right. What was the question again? Because I'm trying to fix this and.
All right, I said, what would you say to someone who wants to have a platonic male female relationship, but they've never tried it because they've always heard that they can't be done? What would you say to that person?
Like everybody was saying, is absolutely within. I mean, you go to work every day, you do those things necessary to be an adult. If you can do the things necessary to be an adult, you can grow to that. But it's like if you go to work and you don't have to punch your boss in the face, you know how to control yourself. It's all about self-control and understanding. You can do all these things and maintain these various relationships. Do the same thing in a friendship. You have to be able to control yourself and be an adult.
Roderick?
So I was gonna send my offering to Harold, but I agree with what everybody said. Like the relationship has to be intentional. Like you are my sister, and that relationship that we've built with brother and sister has been intentional. So I think as long as there's no outside intentional ulterior motives, I think you can have a healthy female and male relationship. Just speaking like with you, like you intentionally, like I don't know how you and Vicky got your own relationship, but that's between y'all. And, but I haven't infringed on that. But y'all built that relationship by yourself, and I know that had saying some a lot to do with you. So, but I think it's possible to be able to have a healthy male female relationship, regardless of who's in a relationship, as long as the intentions are right.
Right. I want people to know that it's possible. I want people to know that men and women can have platonic relationships, that it can be secure, it can be it doesn't have to be raunchy or nasty or secretive. Like, we don't have secret text messages or secret times. Like, we get together and it's like, they'll know, hey, I'm going out. And I call y'all, I group y'all in one. It'd be like me and the guys going out. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So unless it's very specific, but they know. And so it's usually very, very open, and we really try to stay mature. So I appreciate you all keeping it platonic and mature as I have tried to. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have gone different ways for both of us. I could be like, okay, you got a little girlfriend, but I appreciate the love that you guys have. And I just want to thank you. So as we close out, guys, I want to thank everybody for coming on and enjoying this conversation. Just know that you definitely can have mutual platonic relationships, male or female. And what it relates to is maturity and work. So whether it's female platonic relationships or male platonic relationships, it comes to being mature, and it comes to putting work and effort into building and respecting and loving each other. So until next time, guys, I want you to know that it's time. It is time for you to love. It's time for you to grow. It's time for you to stand up for yourself. And it's time for you to be who God has called you to be. There's no other time better than now. It's time, y'all. I'll see you next time.